Good evening to everyone. It's so great to see you here today. My name is Cassandra Jennings, and I'm president and CEO of the Greater Sacramento Urban League. And for tonight, the Greater includes the Bay Area. I would also like to say that I'm glad to be home. This was certainly my first California home many, many years ago. My husband was drafted by the Oakland Raiders, and he came from the east far to the west to make a football team. And we're just grateful that he was able to make the team and also participate in his first year in the Super Bowl and get a Super Bowl ring. And then I was still in college, so 2 years later, we got married, and Oakland was our first home. We lived in East Oakland, and our children were born here, and it was home. And when it was time to go on with careers, we had the opportunity to go to Sacramento, and so we did, begrudgingly. And we've always held Oakland close to our home, so to our hearts. So I'm so honored to be here. I actually also got the opportunity to work with the city of Oakland as well as a nonprofit and do a lot of housing and redevelopment in West Oakland and other parts of Oakland. So it's my pleasure to be here tonight. I'd like to just go over some housekeeping rules as we continue through the program. The bathrooms are out that way to your left. And always be aware of the exit signs, and just in case we need to exit. Also, please note that this is a public event, and so photographers and videographers are on site. Photos and videos will be taken today and may be used in either electronic form or the print media by the California Community College's Chancellor's Office and the local community colleges. So, if you are not comfortable with that, there are some seats that are closer to the rear that you can sit, and we'll make sure that you don't get in any of those great pictures. But we want you to feel comfortable. We want you to participate, and we certainly want to capture all of your beautiful faces if you will allow us to. Now, I trust that you've all have signed the notice, and if not, there will be some when you signed in, so you should have given sort of your permission for that. Now, I'd like to make some acknowledgments of the VIPs and the electeds in the audience, and we will go through several of those. Now, all of you are VIPs, and many of them you'll hear from, so I will go fairly quickly through those. So I'm pleased to be joined today, first and foremost, by my colleagues on the Black and African American Advisory Panel. I would like to just acknowledge them, and as they stand up, and we can give them applause at the end. The first is Greg Irish, who's the co-chair with me in this great event, and he's waving his hand instead of standing up. And also here with me today is my dear friend and a leader in many aspects. She's not only on the advisory panel, she's on the local Los Rios board, and as well as the governance of the California Community Colleges, none other than Pamela Haynes. So you guys, she's an important person. She makes a lot of decisions. She's also on this panel, and also joining us is Dr. Teresa Aldridge, Dr. Janet Clark, Michael Dolphin, and Dr. Stephen Boyd, who are also serving on the panel. Please give them all a round of applause. Now, this time I'd also like to acknowledge the iHeartMedia partners and thank them for their help in getting the word out about this event. And you'll hear more from their personalities and from them lately. We'd also like to thank the colleges and who participated in the college fair. I see many of you have stopped there first and come here, which is perfect, and especially East Bay Mud, who helped demonstrate that earning a credential in a career education program can lead directly to a good paying job. And that's what community colleges are all about. And last but certainly not least, we'd like to thank Laney College for catering. All right, that food was good. Thank you, Chef Brown, and thanks to your staff and students for a wonderful meal and service. And I'd like to just say that's what community colleges are all about. They give you that experience, and then you go on to be those big chefs and those big restaurants that we can enjoy. So now today's panel. Today's town hall is really the panel's fifth and final town hall. Since October of 2018, and I can hardly believe that it's been that long, we've been to Los Angeles, we've been to Sacramento, we've been to Fresno and San Diego, and at last we're here in the Bay Area. What a way to sort of close it out. And the town halls have been designed to get input from you. So while we're talking a little bit, we're going to give you an opportunity to talk a lot. And the challenges, and we want to hear from you about the challenges facing Black and African American students regarding their enrollment in college and their experiences there. We want to, as I say, we want to make sure they have access and they get there. And once they get in, we want to keep them in. And then we want them to graduate out and go on to the next steps. So we want to hear from you. We will be sort of prepping you, and then shortly we will talk about the completion and graduation rates of African Americans as well. So that's when we're going to break out in our sessions. Now you will notice on this screen behind right here that there's a website and a ULR. Okay. So, if you could please take a moment as soon as we get to it. Is it on? Oh, there it is. So, we want to prep you now. So, while we're going on with the program, and I have just a little bit more to tell you, if you could take out your cell phones or your devices and start to go. So, please take a moment, go to the website and register, because we have some interactive things that I think you will enjoy and have fun. So, this is in preparation for that. We'll be asking you a few questions. We'll get the answers right away, and that will help us then to gauge. Now, the instructions are also in your packet, and so you can quietly do it as we move around with the program. But here they are here as well. Now, as I already mentioned, first there's the general session, and we're in that now. And you're going to hear some remarks from some speakers, and we're going to have a keynote speaker from our Chancellor, Eloy Ortiz Oakley. Now, I don't want you to take this lightly, because Chancellor Oakley is responsible for a huge system across this state. And he is making the time, and he wants to hear from us, and he's here to speak with us. So I'm just excited that he's going to be the keynote, and you'll hear more from him later. Now, the listening sessions, again, is when you get a chance to talk to us. So we're going to talk less, you're going to talk more, and we'll be breaking up into different sessions. Now, you should already have in your packet been assigned to a particular listening session, and if not, we'll make sure that you get one of the 4 areas before we break. But you should have that, and then you will get started. You will have a chance to really go and have the speaking, and then we will come back and close out the program. So now let's get started with our speakers. Please refer to your program in your packet for the order of service, because I'm going to share with you and kick it off, and then they're going to join us as their turn comes up. So the speakers will be coming up, and you have a packet to refer to as well. And then, of course, since I'm your MC, I'm going to bug you a little bit later as well. So as you see, we will begin with Director Jumoke Hinton Hodge, and she is an elected official with your school district. And then we'll hear from Dr. Kyla Johnson-Trammell, followed by a special guest, personality, Shay Diddy, and then Jonathan Piper was a student, and then Chancellor Regina Stanback Stroud. And so we will get a chance to really hear from the Chancellor and others as well. So at this time, I'm pleased to introduce our first speaker, Director Jumoke Hinton Hodge. I'm sure all of you are familiar with her, but just briefly, she's the Director of District 3 of the Oakland Unified School District Board of Education. And for the last 2 decades, she has worked in the community and with youth development in the Bay Area. And for the past 7 years, she's been devoted her efforts to strengthen her West Oakland neighborhood, which we are part of this West Oakland community right now, which is where we are tonight. So it is pleased for me to welcome your director. It's a pleasure to meet her and to share the stage with her, Director Jumoke Hinton Hodge. Thank you. Give her one more round of applause. Thank you.
So good evening, everyone. Come on now, you in the West. You're at McClymonds High School. This is the home of champions. This is the home of incredible scholars. My name is Jumoke Hinton Hodge, and I've had the honor and privilege to serve this community for the last 11 years as the director. And what is true about McClymonds and what is true about West Oakland is that this is a place that is incredibly welcoming. This is a place that is incredibly diverse. And this school has students that are attending Laney College. This is a school that has college professors that are on our campus teaching our students. And so it feels so right that this town hall would be here at McClymonds High School, because I think that our students, our educators on this campus have really embraced the idea that our young people have a very clear vision around what is in front of them, whether they're attending Laney College to enhance their career options and things that they'd like to do, or prepare themselves and ready themselves for a 4-year college. I know we have students, because sometimes in our system, our students may want to take another language that we may not be able to offer. And so I know that our students and I know that our families are already excited about the fact that and they claim the community college. And so again, very excited about the opportunity for you all to be here, for the listening sessions to happen. And I just say to the principal, Mr. Jeffrey Taylor, he's over here in the back. And so on behalf of him, the Board of Education, just want to welcome you very much for being here. Enjoy the evening. Call a friend, because there's space. So if there's some students that you know that maybe they need to kind of come on board and be a part of this evening, please get them to come on, because I think that this is going to be a really wonderful and engaging evening. So again, thank you so much for being here and choosing West Oakland and McClymonds. And I get to introduce the world's best superintendent of schools, Dr. Kyla Johnson-Trammell.
Good evening. Good evening. How's everyone doing tonight? Good. All right. Well, I was told very clearly to be brief. So I will be brief. And so I'm just going to speak for a few moments around how soon you should prepare for college. And what do y'all think? How soon should you prepare for college? Like how early? Give me an age. Yes, in the womb. Might as well start when you're in the womb. It's never too early to start. And I would say even when kids are young, really preparing for college is about dreaming, having high aspirations, and exposure. And there's so many different ways to do that. Obviously in schools, there's field trips, there's career fairs. There's tons of stuff in the Bay Area, just in terms of opportunities for kids to be a part of different summer camps, opportunities, local churches. I mean, just exposing kids to everything. I mean, I remember when my grandmother was growing up, I used to hate it, but she would drag me to any and everything that she got her hands on through the city, through the church, any place. And, you know, you never know what's going to stick with kids. You know, it could be something that you can't even imagine, and it could be a seed that you plant when a child is 3 or 4 that grows into a career when they're 18 or 19. So I would say that's one thing, is just the exposure. The second piece, I think, around making sure, because all across the nation, we still are struggling with kids getting into college and finishing and graduating. And so this notion of, in an early age, really developing a joy for learning. The GPA, that is important, but what's more important is really developing a curiosity for learning, because that is what's going to hold you through when you are dealing with that difficult class, when you're trying to figure out, should I give up and should I quit, is really being able to hook into what makes you excited about learning. It may be reading, it may be writing, you know, it may be engineering, it may be art, and really helping and watching your kids and figuring out what piques their interest. Like with my daughter, you know, I can get her to read, but it's more of a bribe thing at this age, at 9, but she will play with her Legos for 2 to 3 hours, right? And so even as a little girl, I'm trying to watch to figure out, you know, what piques her curiosity, what is she interested in? Lately, she's been saying, I want to learn how to hack. I'm like, well, how about coding? Like, let's not do the hacking thing. Let's stick with the coding thing. But anyways, when kids are young, I would say that's another important thing. Exposure, really making sure they're developing a love of learning and curiosity. I would say another thing, starting from middle school all the way through, is time management, organization, and being able to goal set, right? When kids hit middle school, that's when peer pressure kicks in. Typically, kids start being interested in other activities, sports, arts, you name it. And it's never too early for kids to start to develop that sense of, how do you manage your time? How do you balance work? How do you balance fun? How do you know when you need to put in that extra grind? You know, how do you know when you need to balance and have fun? And as small as that seems, I think chores become a part of that as well, really helping kids develop a responsibility. Now it's important. I was at a conference the other day, and a head of a college was saying how the percentage of kids who actually hold jobs before they go to college has significantly decreased, and how much of a negative impact that is for kids in terms of really being ready for the world, right, once they graduate with a degree. Because now it's not just about college, but it's also about being ready for the world of work. So when kids are young, taking out the trash, emptying the dishwasher, and balancing that. I know kids are like, downplay that, but it's true. Really developing that work ethic. That's what chores do, is help you develop a work ethic. Homework, it's about the academics, but it's also about you learning how to be organized and managing your time. Obviously, in middle and high, that's when the A to G and making sure you're on track for graduating becomes extremely important. And as a parent, making sure you know the questions to ask to put pressure on wherever your child is going to school, but more importantly, that is being translated to the student, so that students really learn, along with being curious, you know, how you learn. Are you a visual learner? Do you need things written down, so that kids learn to advocate for the learning environment that they need? And also that kids are really critical in being able to ask questions to make sure that they're on track for graduating and not waiting till 10th and 11th grade. So I know there's going to be more wise advice that's going to be given and shared with you later, so I'll stop there. But just to summarize, exposure, 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 developing a joy and love of learning, curiosity, developing that hustle and grind early on, really understanding the value of work. You're not going to get anywhere in life if you're not working hard. And then learning as a student and parent that the importance of advocacy. So hopefully you all will get a lot out of the different sessions, and thank you all for being here tonight.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all look so sleepy right now. I need y'all to wake up for me. How y'all doing? All right, if y'all don't know who I am, it's probably because you only hear my voice, but I am Shay, KMEL. I do nights on KMEL, Sacramento, Detroit, Memphis, wherever you can think of. I'm probably on the air out there. But they asked me to come out here not just to represent KMEL, but also because obviously I'm born and raised in San Francisco, and they really wanted me to kind of explain how I got here to where I am now, where I'm not just an on-air personality, but I'm also the music director for KMEL. So what you listen to is all because of me. Sorry. Some of y'all gonna complain. We play the same old stuff. We play it because you like it, though. But my point in that is that I would not be here if it wasn't for my experience going through the California Community College system. If you guys don't know my history, because I really don't talk about it on the air, long story short, 16 years old, my family, my dad was a real estate developer in San Francisco, pretty much lost damn near everything. It got to the point where mom and dad couldn't feed me and the other 8 children. So I damn near dropped out of high school, had 70 plus absences in every class, working full time, used my sister ID, had a full-time job, 16 years old. And a teacher or a counselor got wind of my story and basically told me, why are you working full-time when you could be going to school full-time and getting the same check that you'd be getting at Starbucks by going to school and trying to further your career? And I'm like, wait, what? I can get a bag? I'm going to college. So for me, this is why this program is so important, because if it wasn't for that one counselor showing me how I can go to school, because I had the potential, obviously. I went to City College in San Francisco, took classes, went to Laney College and took classes while I was at UC Berkeley, went to Skyline, took classes if it wasn't available at City College, just to finish. And while I was in college is how I got introduced to an internship at KMEL. And here we are 10 years later. You know what I mean? So just for you guys who are interested in music, you're interested in production, it's not just about the education. Obviously, you want the education because regardless of what you want to do, whether it is, maybe you are interested in music. Well, we need engineers, producers, managers. College will help you get there and will also help you open doors that you may not be exposed to in your neighborhood, because I would not be at KMEL if it hadn't been for that one counselor showing me how to get that bag and go to college. So, but that's my story. That's why I'm here. But we do want to have a little bit of fun with this. As we told you guys, we're going to ask you a couple of questions. And I know we're in Oakland, but are there any Niner fans out here? It's exactly 2. I mean, we all from the Bay, though, right? So, like, I got a question for y'all. Super Bowl is going down Sunday, right? Don't act like y'all not going to watch the game. Super Bowl going down Sunday? Okay. Who y'all think is going to win this game? Niners or the Chiefs? I need you to pull out your phones, go on that website that we talked about. There's a poll up there right now. If you enter that code, we're going to take a little survey of the audience. Let me know who you think is going to win the Super Bowl on Sunday. I will tell you that every time I went to a Super Bowl game, we lost. The last time, the Niners lost when I was there, so I won't go. That's a real story, though, for real. Every time I go to a game, when I went to the Warriors game, they lost too. So I feel like I'm bad luck. Y'all done voting? Oh. Ooh, I feel like this is The Price is Right. You gonna keep going? Come on, we got more than 26 people out here. I need y'all to cast your votes. All right, y'all keep playing. I might do my own little survey, try to get y'all hooked up with these Omarion tickets or something. Okay. 40 people? Who said 100? All right. Let's see what the results are. Oh, y'all haven't voted? There you go. So who's going to win the Super Bowl, y'all? Cast your votes for me. Niners or the Kansas City Chiefs? If anybody says the Kansas City Chiefs, you just might as well move out the Bay. Stop playing. Like, it's okay if you wear your Raider game to that parade we all gonna be at next week, but you can't be hating on a Bay Area team. You know, it's one love. It's Cali. Right? Even though I am kind of sad the Raiders left, so I guess we all got to support them. Hey, it's 59%. Y'all playing with that 41% though. See? That's what I'm talking about. This is why we can't get along. So we got another question for you guys. The next question is, I want to know, what is the number one reason people should go to a California community college? What do you think? Cost less than a 4-year university, find out if college is right for them, stay home and save money, or figure out what they want to major in? I majored in legal studies and political science. That ish was hard as hell. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I went to UC Berkeley and thought I was pre-med in a general education. It's no joke, but it was worth it. Now, we want to see what your answers are. 36% said it costs less than a 4-year university, and that is definitely true because I surely saved some money. Now, the next question for you guys is, do you feel that you are ready for college right now? Yes and no. Just be honest. It's cool if you're not. It's cool if you are. Are you ready? Let's see what the answers are. Oh, we still getting answers. Okay. You got 10 seconds. I'll tell you right now, when I went to college, I wasn't ready either. Especially wasn't ready for Berkeley. Oh, y'all feel ready. Okay. That's a hustle mentality. I am not mad. Okay. And my last question is, if you have a question about college, do you know where to go if you need help? Who said yes? Raise your hand. Where you go if you need help? Where do you go? To the office. What's your office? What's the room number? What's the counselor's name? What's their email? Everybody ain't got a phone though. What if I ain't got Google? It's hard out here. It's the Bay Area. Rent is high, honey. Did you guys answer the questions? 85% know where to go. That's amazing. So I'm so excited for you guys here. I'm so happy that you all came out to learn more about this program and what California Community College can do for you. And thank you guys for having me. I'm just here to chill with you guys and just chop it up and fill y'all out. So right now, let's welcome to the stage the one and only Jonathan A. Piper II.
I was wondering how you got my full government name, but it's sitting on my folder. All the students in here, how many of y'all ready for college? Okay, how many of y'all are just ready to graduate? Okay, I see some more hands. Parents, how many of y'all are ready to let your kids go to college? Okay, that's more than I was expecting. My parents definitely wanted me to go away to college, and I said, sorry, I'm gonna start at a community college and stay home. That was a bummer for them because they don't like to walk around with clothes on. I always have to call my mom when I'm in the driveway and say, you got some clothes on? I graduated from Skyline High School, class of 2019, and yeah, Titans. I know I'm at McClymonds, so don't jump me in the parking lot. But when I graduated, when I was in high school, everybody expected me to go to a 4-year university. I was getting a lot of acceptances into HBCUs. I went to the Black College Expo. I had a lot of resources, but I realized even though I was good at advocating for myself, I still didn't feel like I was ready. I'm in college right now, second semester. I go to Chabot Community College in Hayward. I'm still not ready for college. I'm a political science major, and like Shay said, it's hard. There's a whole lot of reading. I didn't do a lot of reading when I was coming up in school, so one thing that you really want to get a habit in is reading, going to the library, studying. getting a friend who can tutor you, because it's very important, especially when you get to where I am and where I want to go. And so, you don't have to know where you want to go. You don't have to have everything together, because there's people who graduated and still don't have their stuff together, sadly. But, it's always, don't count community college out. Me and my family, we were like, oh, community college, I don't want to go to a community. I don't want to be stuck where I'm at. I don't want to have to retake classes and be in the same system for 8 years. But then I realized, if I don't feel like I'm ready for a 4-year, I might as well start at least 2 years and then transfer in. It's the best option you can make. You get to learn what your major's really going to be. You get to learn what you really want to do in life. And, you can't really go wrong. Financial aid will cover some of your classes, and so I'm going to school basically for free right now. So don't count community college out. If you don't want to stay close to home, I live in East Oakland, but I go to Chabot, which is in Hayward, so I still got to commute to get to school. So I'm not going home at lunchtime to see my parents. I'm away from home. They got to call me just to see where I'm at. They can't come up and check on me without knowing where I'm at, because they're going to get to the campus, I ain't going to be there. I went to Skyline. I felt like that was too close to Marriott. So if I'm at Marriott, my dad's like, oh, I'm here. What you doing for lunch? No, I'm at Chabot. You got to drive and let me know first. Don't want to waste that gas money. So, don't count community college out. If you have any other questions about college or the experience graduating from high school, choosing what college to go to, I'm a resource. I may not know everything, but I know a lot of people who do know something, so I would be happy to point you in the right direction. Again, my name is Jonathan Piper II.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Regina Stanback Stroud, and I just don't think it's fair to have to come up after a radio personality and a young person like that. That just something ain't right about that. All right? I just want to say a few words to you. I am the Chancellor of the Peralta Community College District, where we have 4 great colleges there in Peralta. We have Berkeley City College, the College of Alameda, Laney College, and Merritt College. We are your community college. And one of the things I want to do is just remind you, I don't know if you've heard of this, but there is such a thing as social and cultural capital. And social and cultural capital are things that people get to access on a regular basis just simply because of who they are or where they are or what they have. And so a lot of times in our communities, we don't necessarily realize that. But I'll tell you an example of social and cultural capital is, like, for an example, the parents that are in Palo Alto have access to Stanford right there in their community, and they are proud of that social and cultural capital. Well, let me tell you something. You have social and cultural capital here because Peralta Community College District, the 4 colleges of that district are your social and cultural capital, and they can make a difference in your life. When I first came to California, I remember landing at LAX. I called my mother, and I told her 2 things because I listened to the radio. At that time, we listened to radio. Okay. They were like, what, radio? Was that like that knob? Okay. But I listened to the radio, and by the time I got home to the apartment where we were just moving here, I called my mother, and I said, we're home. We landed safely, Mom. I just want to let you know something. I said, out here in California, they buy their water. She said, what? I said, yeah, they buy their water. And she said, with what? I said, with real money. They actually spend money on water. Because I came from North Carolina. I said, and you know what else? You can go to the community college for almost no money. You can go to college for almost no money. She got over the water thing. She could not believe that you could go to college for almost no money because she spent, she was a minimum wage worker, and she sent 4 children to college. And she worked her bottom off, and so did the community, because they sent us off to school, and they said things like, when I was at Howard University, and then Miss Thomas would say, I always knew that child was going to be somebody. And when you got the entire community sitting there pushing you like that and looking at you and expecting you, then you don't mess around and you don't let them down. I want you to know that the hopes and aspirations of your families, of your aunts, of your uncles, of your cousins on your mother's, father's, sister's side, they all have hopes and aspirations in you to go to college. So Peralta Community Colleges and the 4 colleges that are there for you. Now, I think California got it right, because California said that people need to have access to an education, that it should not be preserved for the elite, but indeed all those who have the ability to benefit from an education would be able to get one. So that's why you can go to the California community colleges for a very small amount of money compared to what it costs to go to some of the four-year universities. Now, I want to ask you this question. What do you think is the difference if you have a student who goes to the community college and then they transfer to the university? Because here in California, they have guaranteed transfer. You can have an agreement and you have guaranteed transfer. They transfer to university, and you're standing beside your friend who started at the university, and they both are holding up their graduation pictures, they're posing, they're taking a picture, holding up their degree. What do you think is the difference between those two degrees? $60,000 is the difference. Okay, so when you answer those questions about the number one reason, I don't know if it's the number one reason. I would say the number one reason is probably because of the extremely excellent academic programs and services that you will have access to in the community colleges, and the difference is about $60,000 in the degree. So it is something to pay attention to. The other thing is, there are so many things that I want you to pay attention to in terms of being able to go to college. When you think about going to college and how much it's going to cost, the reality is that it can be daunting, and you can think, I don't have enough money. I could never afford that. Well, don't let money stop you. I ain't never had no money anyway, so you don't no point in letting money stop you. There are so many mechanisms for you to be able to access. So whether you're getting Pell, or whether you do the Oakland Promise, or whether you're able to get a Board of Governors waivers with a California Promise now, or whether you do ICanAffordCollege.com, whatever it is, then first of all, as long as one foot goes in front of the other, then get to the college. And then we'll figure out all the rest. Okay, so I just want to encourage you, let you know, right now I can tell you in the Peralta colleges that we are seeing a drop in the African American student population. There has been a significant drop over the last 5 years of about 1/5 of the student population, so about 22% decline in African American students. And the ones that are there, as they're getting through the classes, only about half of them are successfully getting through the classes. We can change that narrative, because a lot of times that narrative around African American students is one, that they don't value education, they're not interested in education, they don't prioritize education, there are so many other things that they are interested in doing other than education, but that's not what the national data is showing. The national data is showing that 89% of the African American students who were surveyed in that national data identified that college was a priority. So we can change this narrative right now, today. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you students in college next year in one of the Peralta Community College districts. Sorry, Chabot and Ohlone on that. Thank you.
All right, wasn't she dynamite? You guys are blessed and fortunate to have Chancellor Stroud. Give her another round of applause. And I'd really like to thank and acknowledge all the speakers, as they really, I guess, sort of resonated at different points about this college and hopefully your college experience. I would like to also, again, thank the host, Chancellor Stroud, as well as Dr. Johnson-Trammell with the Oakland Unified School District, and Principal Taylor for allowing us to be here this evening. So give them all a round of applause. Now, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing your chancellor over all of the community colleges, Chancellor Eloy Ortiz Oakley. And I just want to say that when I say all the community colleges, all of them, all 115 community colleges across this state. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of facts about them, because I think it's important for you just to understand the presence in this room, that we need to not only soak it all in, but then give them what will be helpful in them doing their job to serve our community. Now, Chancellor Oakley is best known throughout California and all the nation for implementing innovative programs and policies that help students succeed in college. Chancellor Oakley strongly believes that California's emerging economies demand a workforce with quality credentials and that the state's 115, all of those community colleges, play a pivotal role in moving California forward. You heard about education thus far and jobs and connecting to the workforce. That all matters. He's perhaps best known as pioneering the effort in partnering with the Long Beach Unified School District, and so here we are in Oakland, and the California State University at Long Beach to help form the nationally recognized Long Beach College Promise, which is now known across the state and country as the College Promise. And through the College Promise, which hopefully many of you will hear about or have heard about, the administrators and the high school teachers work with the college faculty and the staff to create clear and structured pathways for the students to follow as they move from one education system, such as K through 12, to college, or maybe community college to a four-year university. And here, our Chancellor Oakley is trailblazing. And where he has been appointed to a lot of different commissions and things throughout the state and the country, what I'm going to say is he takes on and tackles the tough issues. And that's why we're here today. When nobody else wants to talk about brown and black students not having full access and not getting through the community college, guess where the chancellor is? He's pushing that envelope. Even when people think it's okay or we can't talk about it for one reason or the other, Chancellor Oakley is trailblazing to really make sure that that discussion goes through. So we're pleased as part of the panel to be engaged with this discussion to make sure that he has what he needs along with his board of trustees that's going to say time is now to talk about this. We are so honored and pleased that he's here with us tonight. Please welcome your Chancellor, Chancellor Oakley.
Thank you, Cassandra. Good evening. It's great to be here in Oakland, and I want to especially thank the Black and African American panel members who are here. As was mentioned, we've been all throughout California. They, time and time again, show up for these conversations, show up to help us get the word out and help us better understand how our colleges can better serve every community, especially our communities of color, which are the lifeblood, which are the future of California. So I have the great pleasure of being a product of the California community colleges. I wouldn't be here but for the community colleges. Like many people in this community and many communities throughout California, I didn't go to college right out of high school. Matter of fact, my high school counselor told me not to worry about college. So I said, okay, I won't worry about it. But I wound up serving 4 years in the United States Army, and I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. But, you know, when there was a lot of people with college degrees telling me what to do in the Army, I thought, what's wrong with this picture? And so I had the pleasure, after coming back, after beginning to raise my daughter, after working my butt off, finding a community college. And you know what? They met me where I was. And I wouldn't be here but for that experience. And now my children have all gone through community college. So it definitely is for everyone. If a community college can create the Chancellor of the California Community Colleges out of me, it can do miracles for everyone else. So thank you all for being here. I have the pleasure of working for a board of governors that puts this as their top priority. We can't have a conversation in a community like Oakland without being honest, without being clear, that communities like this have not always been served by our public education systems. Communities like this have not always been served by our public higher education systems. I have the pleasure of spending a lot of time in the University of California, and the great university that is not too far from here has probably somewhere around 2% of African Americans in that fine university. That is unacceptable. That is clearly unacceptable. University of California is for all Californians, especially members of this community. So we want to change that narrative. We don't want to change that narrative. We need to change that narrative. If we want to be in the California that continues to lead the way in this nation, that continues to be diverse and prosperous at the same time, that continues to push back on the rhetoric from Washington, D.C. about what it means to be a diverse community, then we have to do a better job in communities like this. So I'm proud to stand here with Chancellor Stanback Stroud, and her team, who are leading the way, as well as the other Bay Area colleges, leading the way to serve every Californian. Because the one thing that we can say, the one thing I'm most proud of that we can say in the California community colleges, is that we serve the top 100% of students. Every student has a chance at a California community college. Every student has a chance in the Peralta community colleges. So, why are we here? You already heard from Cassandra that the advisory panel is helping us better understand how to better serve you. We're not here to tell you how we're going to help you. We need your help. Help us understand what you need. Be honest with us. Be clear with us. And so we're going to take this information back. We're going to present it to our Board of Governors, who a couple of years ago adopted what we call a vision for success. That vision for success has at its heart equity, has at its heart closing the achievement gaps in California, and preparing a workforce that is inclusive of every Californian. So what we're doing here today is very important to us in the California community colleges. We will take that information, we will present it to the Board of Governors along with recommendations on how we continue to work to better serve communities like this. So again, thank you all for being here. I hope that you tell us the challenges that you face, the things that are holding you back, and for those of you in our colleges now, how can we make your experience more meaningful, more impactful, and what do we need to do different to better serve you? So, again, thank you to the panel, thank you to everyone here who's made this event possible, and I look forward to hearing the recommendations from my esteemed colleagues on the Black and African American Advisory Panel. Thank you all for being here.
All right, thank you, Chancellor Oakley. And now what you have been waiting for and why we're all here. So I don't want anybody to get tired, because now's the time where you can really, it's important that we hear from you. So we plan the listen sessions, each of which are designed to help the community colleges understand more, as the Chancellor said, about your challenges and the barriers that make it difficult to get into school, to stay there, and to graduate and pursue your careers and your further education.